So the question's been asked a few times in the comment section about working on comms lines and responding to down telephone wires instead of the phone company. I wanted to show you guys this call I just arrived to. It'll come down as wires down. It says wires down over sidewalk around, I think it's the address, reported by customer driving by. Looks like it's communication lines. So rather than call the telephone company to respond to this, they always send out one of our trouble guys for these calls, and this is a perfect scenario as to why we responded to this. So you can see here the wire dangling down over the sidewalk, and it's actually wrapped up and around that secondary. It must have been hanging low over the street when it got broke by a passing truck. That wire, especially when it's under tension and it gets broken by a passing vehicle, it snaps just like an elastic. Now you look over on this pole and we've got 7200 volts coming down into that transformer, and that same telephone line, which is dangling right here, that's actually a fiber optic line, is wrapped up and around the secondary wires, and it would have come very close to the bottom of that cutout as it broke. A lot of times we show up to calls and a good Samaritan will drag the wire off the road, clear the hazard. But when it comes to lines down, guys, just don't touch them at all, regardless if it's telephone wires, guy wires, just an overhead strand, anything at all. Most of the phone wire, this here is FibreOP, pretty small stuff. But a lot of the older phone lines with the copper steel in them, still got an insulation wrapped around it. So that wraps up and around the primary. There's a good chance it's not going to kick the line. So if that's wrapped up and around the primary, down onto the pavement, all it takes is somebody to grab a hold of that while they're standing on the ground, and it wouldn't be good. And for any linemen that are out there watching this video, when you respond to these calls, even though it's just that little phone line, they're quite a shock load on the pole when that gets broken. So you are going to want to check your ties and your insulators, check all the equipment. We're going to give the phone company a call, let them know that there's a customer that lost their fiber drop. They'll come by and run a new one.